Morning, children. Today we are going to learn grade 8 civics, the Indian Constitution. The Indian Constitution. There, the first introduction, they have given one example or a comparison. See here, the rules of the football. You know what is a foul? If a ball touches the arms of any player, this is considered a foul. So the player start holding the football in their hands and passing it around. Then they are not playing football anymore. Like that, there are some rules for hockey or cricket also. So these are known as the fundamental to the game. We can also call them as a constitutive rules of the game. Like these games, the society also has some constitutive rules. Let us see why does a country needs a constitution. Before that, see the picture bar. The photo alongside shows Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru addressing the Constituent Assembly. As we know that we got independence in 1947, our constitution was made in the 1950 only. Till that, it take a long procedure to make a constitution. So, a constitution serves a several purposes. First, it lays out certain ideals that form the basis of the kind of a country that we as citizens aspire to live on. Then, a constitution tells us what the fundamental nature of the society. As you know that our country is made up of different community of the people. We are having Christians, Muslims, Hindus, Muslims and so many communities who share certain belief but may not necessarily agree on all issues. So a constitution helps serves as a set of rules and principles that all person in a country can agree upon as the basis of the way in which they want the country to be governed. This includes not only the type of the government but also an agreement on certain ideals that they believe the country should uphold. Next, they have given one example of Nepal country. The Nepal was till 1919. It has the constitution of Nepal and in 2006 only it got democracy. See here, the previous constitution of Nepal which had been adopted in 1990 reflected the fact that the final authority resisted with the king. In 2006 only they were succeeded in putting an into powers of the king. Then, as in the game of a football, in which a change in the constitutive rules will change the game together, Nepal, by moving from a monarchy to a democratic government, needs to change all its constitutive rules in order to assure a new society. That's why in 2015 only, Nepal adopted a new constitution. See here the picture in Nepal, the people, those who are getting after the monarch from monarchy to republic, they are showing their victory and they are very happy about it. In 2008, the Nepal became a democracy after abolishing the monarchy in the picture. Then, the important purpose of a constitution is to define the nature of a country's political system. For example, Nepal's earlier constitution that the country was ruled by the king. After that, it was what happened? It laying certain important guidelines that govern decision making, then decision making within. So the constitution plays a crucial role in laying out certain important guidelines that govern decision making within these societies. In a democracy, we choose our leader so that they can exercise powers, responsibility on our behalf. This was explained with the pictures with the storyboard. See here, in a school, the class teacher, the ma'am has to go outside for urgent work and she has appointed one boy and that boy was already a mischievous, somewhat rough and tough and he was asked to mind the class. Then what happened? He has been pointed and he pointed the another boy, but he was not do. He was very good boy only. But already we know that this boy is very naughty. Then Ma'am, while you are away, Anil kept talking loudly and disturbing the class. But anyhow, that boy is not doing. But he has still told to the ma'am that he only. Then Anil fathered what the ma'am told. She has, ma'am, given the punishment. I will not disobey the rules. The class monitor, and she has to that today she has to hear that boy has to write 100 times. That's the punishment. So what it shows, there is always the possibility leaders might misuse their authority, and the constitution usually provides a safeguard against this. This issue of authority can result in gross injustice as demonstrated in the classroom situation below. This paragraph is omitted. The NCERT it was asked don't use the word Dalit. That's why I am also omitting this paragraph. Next, we are having another picture. What is this shows? Then now the games period. In that period, they went for playing. Then some boys wanted cricket and the girls wanted football, basketball. So now we will play cricket, the boys say. But the girls say, let us play basketball today. So what happened? The teacher decides to settle the problem with a show of hands. So after, at last, what happened? There are more boys in the class. So what is their desire? They wanted to play cricket only. Then we always have to do what the boys want because they are in a majority. Ma'am should think of another way to make decision so that our wishes are also here. See here. Another important function that the constitution plays in a democracy is to ensure that a dominant group does not use its power against other less powerful people or groups. The storyboard below demonstrates this situation very clearly. Then another one situation it was given that here the constitution usually contains rules that ensure that minorities are not excluded from anything that is routinely available to the majority. Another reason why we have a constitution is precisely to prevent this tyranny. This can refer to a community dominating another or inter-community domination or members of one community. Okay. Then next another picture storyboard was about Shabnam. She is having the test. She wants to learn. But what happened? The parents are watching. At last she told Bole, I want to watch this TV program, but I have test tomorrow. If you all watch TV, I will also want to watch. I have an idea. What if no one watches TV tonight? Then I may not be tempted. So this may the constitution this may sound strange, but what is meant by this? That we might at times feel strongly about an issue that might go against our largest interest, and the constitution helps to us guard against this. Next one, the constitution helps to protect us against certain decision also that we might take that could have an adverse effect. For example, it is possible that many people who live in a democracy might come to strongly feel that party politics has come so screaminess that we need a strong dictator. Next, we have to see the features of the constitution. The features of the constitution. They have given one activity. In that activity for you math students, listen, Suresh, the class monitor, wrongly picks on Anil, his classmate. So he should not misuse the authority. The girl do not get to play basketball because the boys are a majority. So no, all should be treated equally. Then Shabnam decided to revise her chapter instead of watching TV. Then she has decided whether to get the low mark or the score mark. She has decided. Then the next one, the Indian Constitution, the key features. They have given one photo picture. The the above photo shows Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, a prominent member of the Constitution Assembly. Next, the Indian Constitution key feature. The Indian national, by the beginning of the 20th century, the Indian national movement had been active in the struggle for independence from British rule for several decades. During the freedom struggle, the nationalists had devoted a great deal of time to imagining and planning what a free India would be like that. So again until in 1947 only we got independence. The constitution was made in the 1950s. Still there was so many procedure, so many steps to make the constitution. The first one was done not by one person. The Constitutional Assembly was by a group of around 300 people. How many ma? 300 people who became the member of the Constituent Assembly in 1946, who met periodically for the next 3 years to write Indian Constitution. Who is known as our father of our Indian Constitution? As you know, yes, B.R. Ambedkar. He was known as the father of the Indian Constitution. These members of the Constituent Assembly had a huge task before them. When the constitution was being written, India was going through a considerable turmoil. Turmoil means very great critical condition. The partition of the country into India and Pakistan was imminent. Some of the princely states remained undecided about their future and socio-economic condition of the vast mass people. It was told it was 520 princely states during the time of the independence. So then it was made as a 28, and during the time of it was very hard to make into a 21. That it was done by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel only. Then all of these issues played on the minds of the members. They rose to the occasion and gave this country a visionary document that reflect respect for maintaining diversity. While it was diversity, having a lot of communities speaking a different language, different culture, and everything. So, but they have to come under the one Indian national unity, preserving national unity. The final document also reflect their concern for eradicating, putting full stop, putting end poverty through socio-economic reforms as well as emphasizing the crucial role. Let us see the features of the Constitution. The first feature is federalism. The first feature is the federalism. This refers means the federalism means more than two level of government. In India, we are having state government, central government, and local government also. The local government as well as the panchayat third tier we have studied in the 6th and 7th classes itself. Anyhow, the federalism it consists of more than one level of government. Next, then instead, it was important to have another level of government in the states so that decision could be made for the particular area. The constitution contains list that details the issues that each tier of the government, that is the local government or the central government or the state government, whatever it is, they can make the laws. In addition, the constitution specifies where each tier of government can get the money from for the work and what that it does. Under federalism, the states are not merely agents of the federal government, but draw their authority from the constitution as well. Next one, parliamentary form of government. What is it? Parliamentary form of government. Here they have given the photo below shows people standing in a line to cast their vote. So the cast, C-A-S-T, this is the political term. We have to use the word cast only. Not you should not use the word putting vote. To cast their vote. So the second one is parliamentary form of government. Parliamentary form of government means it refers to universal adult suffrage. Suffrage is also the term which is used for voting. So India guarantees universal adult suffrage to all citizens for all. When they were making the constitution, the members of the Constitution Assembly felt that the freedom struggle had prepared the masses for universal adult suffrage, and this would help encourage a democratic mindset and break the clutches. that the people of India had a direct role in electing their representatives. Then third one, separation of power. Already we know how many organs in our constitution, that is legislature, executive and judiciary. What the legislature will do? The legislature will refers to our elected representatives. The executive means what? A smaller group of people who are responsible for implementing laws and running the government. What is the work of the judiciary? Then this is the judiciary which finds who are misusing, who are not following it, who has to be punished. Everything was under the control of the judiciary, High Court and the Supreme Court. Then through this each organ act as check on the other organs of government, and this ensure the balance of power between. Next one. So first one, what we have learned, that is a federalism. Second, parliamentary form of government. Third, separation of power. Third one, here in the blue box they have given what's the difference between state and the government. State and the government. Government is responsible for administrating and enforcing law. What do you mean by the state? The state, on the other hand, refers to a political institution that represents a sovereign. Again, I am saying government is responsible for administering and enforcing law. The government can change election. Then, state and the government. Next, we are having fundamental rights. So, the fourth features of our constitution is fundamental rights. This section was referred as the conscience of the Indian Constitution. How many fundamental rights? It was given the box: right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and education right, right to constitutional remedies. Then, colonial rule had created a certain suspicion of the state in the minds of the nationalists, and they wanted to ensure that a set of written rights would guard against the misuse of state power in independent India. Fundamental rights, therefore, they protect the citizens. If any one right was not abide, you can approach the Supreme Court for that only, against the arbitrary and absolute excess of power by the state. Thus, the Constitution guarantee these rights of individuals. Next, Ambedkar has pointed out these fundamental rights. The objective of the two, what are they? The first objective is that every citizen must be in a position to claim those rights. Secondly, these rights must be binding upon every authority that has got the power to make laws. These two objectives was given by Dr. Ambedkar with regard to fundamental rights. Then we are having directive principles of state policy. Then this section was decided by the members of the Constituent Assembly to ensure greater and economic reforms and to serve as a guide to the independent Indian state. So, above these fundamental rights, we are having the directive principles. The last one, what is it? Secularism. The last one is secularism. So the key features of the Indian Constitution is five. The first one is federalism. The second one is the parliamentary form of government. The third one, separation of power. The fourth one is fundamental rights. The fifth one is secularism. What do you mean by secularism? Secularism means a state in which the state does not officially promote any one religion at the state religion. Then that means you have the right to follow any religion and you have the right to practice. The government or the state, the government of the state should not interfere in your religious belief. It plays a crucial role in laying out the ideas that we would like all citizens of the country to adhere to, including the representatives that we elect to rule. Just like in the game of football, a change of the constitutive rules will affect the game. Indian Constitution has been amended over the years to reflect new concern. What do you mean by amendment? Amendment means we are having some procedure to change in the constitutional rule. Then, the different features of the outline above involved complicated are often not easy to grasp. Then, this Indian constitution understand more substantially what they mean. Next, see the picture. They are the above photo shows various members of the Constituent Assembly. Again, I would like to recap again the Indian Constitution, then how it was made, and also the features of the special features of the Constitution. Okay, I am giving a little sheet, homework sheet with regard to this. If you go through this, it's easy for you to write the answers. So, thank you.